Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into corporate filings so you don't have to. Today, we're decoding Jushi Holdings' latest annual report, and let me tell you, it's a bit like trying to untangle Christmas lights after they've been stored in the attic all year. It's a mess, but somebody has to do it. This company is a multi-state cannabis operator, and this report is their year-end financial health checkup. So buckle up, because we are about to pull back the curtain and look at Jushi's overall business. Was it a banner year or a total buzzkill? Jushi tells us what it does right at the top, so let's start there. They're in the business of growing, processing, and selling cannabis, both for medical and adult use, also known as recreational use. The company mentions it's been targeting assets in key states, including Pennsylvania, Virginia, Illinois, Nevada, Massachusetts, and Ohio. Think of them as cherry-picking states where they believe they can get a foothold and grow as regulations change. Now, before we get too far, let's put a disclaimer right here. This report, like many, has what they call forward-looking statements. Basically, everything that sounds optimistic about the future is really just a guess and can change, especially with the cannabis industry, which is evolving very quickly. Keep an eye out for competition, risks inherent in agriculture, potential product recalls, fraudulent activity by employees, cybersecurity risks, and critical accounting estimates. All of these could affect future results. Jushi operates in several states. They sell cannabis in California with 1 dispensary, Illinois with 5 dispensaries, Massachusetts with 2 dispensaries under the name Nature's Remedy. They also are in Nevada with 4 dispensaries that operate under the names New Leaf and Beyond Hello. Rounding out their store operations are their 1 store in Ohio and 17 stores in Pennsylvania, plus 6 in Virginia that all operate under the Beyond Hello brand. You'll notice that a few of those are also co-located medical dispensaries, and it's something that they are moving towards. Jushi has several of their own brands, including Hijinks for Top Shelf Flower, The Bank, which is their premium flower, The Lab for vapes and concentrates, Tastology, which focuses on edibles, Uncommon Kind, Nira for medicinal, and Setch, which is their discount brand. The market is very competitive, Jushi says, with relatively high barriers to entry because it's a licensed industry. They compete against small local shops and large multi-state operators. Let's skip over to Europe quickly, where Jushi previously had a stake in a Swiss company. In June of 2024, Jushi Europe was deconsolidated from our business, and they recognized a gain of almost $2,000. Now let's talk about the big elephant in the room, federal regulation. Under US federal law, marijuana is still a Schedule I drug, so yes, still illegal at the federal level, despite many states having legalized it for medical or recreational use. President Biden has asked for a review of cannabis scheduling, and HHS has recommended moving cannabis from Schedule I to Schedule III. Rescheduling would have broad implications for federal policy, potentially impacting state medical and recreational programs. It would still be subject to challenges and judicial review. Also, under the 2018 Farm Bill, commercial hemp is no longer classified as a Schedule I controlled substance in the US. Now let's move on to the states where Jushi operates and get a better sense of what they do and some state-specific regulations they face. California, the first state to legalize cannabis, continues to be a core market. Jushi holds licenses for 2 dispensaries, one of which is operational under the Beyond Hello brand. In Illinois, you can get access to medical marijuana if you are prescribed opioids. Jushi operates 5 adult-use dispensaries under the Beyond Hello brand. Moving on to Massachusetts, which legalized medical cannabis in 2012, Jushi operates 2 adult-use dispensaries under the Nature's Remedy brand, plus a cultivation and production facility. Jushi also holds licenses in Nevada, where they operate 4 dispensaries, a cultivation facility, and a processing facility. Ohio is interesting because recently the state legalized adult use, but localities can enact ordinances that limit or prohibit cannabis businesses. Jushi operates 1 medical and adult use dispensary and has plans to expand in the state. Pennsylvania's Medical Marijuana Act allows residents with certain medical conditions to access cannabis. Jushi holds permits for 18 dispensaries and operates a cultivation and processing facility. Finally, in Virginia, Jushi operates 6 medical dispensaries and a cultivation and processing facility. The state is in a transitional period, transitioning the program to a new regulating body. The company has implemented various compliance measures, including providing employees with SOP training, security and inventory control, monitoring compliance notifications, and developing a compliance program to ensure all requirements continue to be satisfied. Let's talk about people. As of the end of 2024, Jushi had 1,234 employees across its operations. A few locations have collective bargaining agreements with unions. Now let's get into the numbers. As of February 28, 2025, the company had about 196 million subordinate voting shares outstanding. Okay, so what's the story with Jushi's financials? Revenue dipped a bit, coming in at about $257 million for 2024, down from $269 million the previous year. We see a pretty detailed breakdown of what went down state by state, with pricing pressure in some states being a large factor, also due to new competition. They are seeing a boost from new stores in Virginia and the launch of adult use in Ohio, so it's not all bad. Gross profit actually nudged up slightly to $118.3 million, which is always good, and their profit margin increased to 46%. So they're keeping more of every dollar they bring in. The primary driver, efficiencies and higher sales of the company's in-house brand, which has better margins than third-party products. Operating expenses decreased by around 10% because of certain asset impairments, a lower share-based compensation and cuts to software and tech. They had positive adjusted EBITDA. This important value came in at $46 million compared to $40 million the prior year. The bump is mostly from being more efficient at growing and processing. Jushi finished the year with $21 million in cash. What's interesting is that while operating cash flow was strong at $21.5 million, they spent quite a bit on investing and financing activities, leading to a net cash decrease for the year. Okay, but what are the actual risks that Jushi faces? The biggie is that cannabis remains illegal under US federal law. This is still a big risk for the company despite some efforts at rescheduling. They're also subject to tax rules and the code, which makes it harder to deduct normal business expenses. We also see that there may not be access to bankruptcy protections, but that's part of the cost to be in the business. And of course, we have to mention, as they do, that there's no guarantee that internal controls over financial reporting are effective. Finally, they state that the market price for their subordinate voting shares has been and are likely to continue to be volatile. That's important to remember since they are traded on an exchange. So, what's the final verdict on Jushi? The company's top line was down, but profits are up as they cut costs and get more efficient. The growth story is still real with more stores, but there are also a number of risks that need to be taken into account as a cannabis business such as this one. One thing is for sure, you have to be very careful when investing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, please subscribe, like, and comment below. Also, feel free to let me know of any company that you want me to analyze.